Hello and welcome to our April Entrada Masterclass. And I am thrilled to see people who are here in the room with me, and anyone who is tuning in live from Facebook or from YouTube, welcome, welcome. Or if you're catching the replay, thank you for being here at the time that is convenient. And thank you for investing your time with me here as well. And I just want to check and make sure that my sound check is coming in, and I will. Okay, so thank you very much. So so let me start off with sharing my screen, and I'll just bring this up here. And so welcome to officially our April Entrada Membership Masterclass. And the theme this month is reflect, rejoice, and renew. And that's in regards to it being the 1 year anniversary of a year ago was my first membership masterclass. And thank you for the emojis as well. And so what we're going to be exploring today is, sorry, let me do my acknowledgement first. So where I live, work and play is located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples of the Kikite First Nations. A little bit of housekeeping for those of you, for my members, the session guide and the PowerPoint will be in the portal for you in our learning portal, and the replays of this will be also in the portal, but you'll also have access to that on YouTube and on Facebook. For those of you new to AirMeet, this platform, the questions tab is off to your right as you're looking at the screen. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to pop them in there. If there are questions and I don't have time within our allotted 30 minutes today, I will address them and to you directly and leave a message or follow up with a little mini recording in the as a video in my YouTube channel too. And speaking of YouTube and Facebook, welcome to people who are, as I said, tuning in from there, and the replays will be posted there as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Newton. I'm an integrative career coach based in Vancouver, Canada, and I've been doing this work for 15 years now since I did my own pivot from tech into the helping profession, and have been very honored to support clients going from their career misery into finding their career superpowers and meaningful work. I myself wandered the vocational desert for over 2 decades before I found this work to be meaningful, including to offer these sorts of events. I'll invite you to grab a pen and paper. Hopefully there might be at least one insight for you to jot down, or perhaps you'll just take a note on your phone or your laptop, your computer, if you're more digital. So just grabbing a piece of paper. For my members, you've got your session guide that you can refer to as well. And so our itinerary as we journey here today, in a moment we'll set an intention, and then I'm just going to do a brief review and reflect over the last 12 months of my Entrada membership, and hopefully that will be helpful for you as a review as well. And then talk about what's ahead and offering you a growth opportunity. And if there's any questions, I'll do my best to address those and see if there's any takeaways for you. Hopefully there are. So let's start with an intention, and I will give you a moment, and I'm going to take a moment too, to write down an intention of this important time that you've invested in yourself to be here and with your time to be here. So what would you like to focus on to make this a valuable experience for yourself? And then moving into the concept that I introduced, as I said, a year ago, and this is just from observation through the many clients that I've had, of the hundreds of clients over the years that I have sat with and noticed what were the ingredients of what helped them to be successful in their career transition. And so the career DNA, like your biological, physiological DNA, is unique to you. And so, what it composes of, that, and as I said, that I've just noticed through observation, is energy. So, what energizes you? And then there's known talent. So, they're like your talents, maybe even your strengths that you know that you're good at. But then there's also the recognized talents that you enjoy that other people may see in you that you might not know yourself. And then these elements come together, and the details of this are in one of my earlier, or it'll be in my April, in the April recording video. So you can go back and get details of that if you're curious and interested in that. And then what we did was we actually broke down, I started breaking down for you the tangible aspects of what I noticed as themes in the aspects and attributes of clients who are successful in their career transition. And I introduced that as the basics and the fundamentals of the ABCs to work your dream. And we literally have been going through the alphabet to do that. And as I've been on some planes quite a bit, and I will ask for your forgiveness if I, as I said, I'm a bit fumbly for today's masterclass, just like having a different perspective. But I'm going to like switch over to my cheat sheet and read from my notes and do a recap of the past masterclasses now for you. So as I reflect and the lessons that I have personally learned and then had feedback from talking to my members, thank you for those members who gave me some very helpful and valuable feedback, is of what I have been able to share with you, and being able to have the information what has been helpful for you to have a better experience too as members. And in addition to that, I'm just going to very briefly go through what the themes have been, just as a reminder. And so in April last year, I introduced, as I said, the concept of career DNA, and we started our ABCs, our fundamentals, with attitude, boundaries, and commitment. And then in May 2023, grief came up as a theme. My husband and I lost our dear fur baby, Zuzu, who'd been in our lives for 13 years as a rescue after 2 years. So 15 years of her life. And so grief came up, and it's such a prominent theme in the work that I do with career, and like when clients are changing, whether it's change that they are wanting to proactively create or change that has been imposed upon them. And so grief in terms of through their jobs and their careers, but also grief in life as well comes up too, because we're whole people. We're not just in our work and in our jobs. And so we explored grief as a catalyst for growth. There was a metaphor of kintsugi to embrace imperfections. And then when you're ready, how you can find value in the experiences of loss. And then in June, we went to the discipline, energy, and fear as those are the aspects in career transition and career transformation. And then we went to, when I was doing fear, I was trying to decide between fear and flow, and I decided flow could be a standalone. So in July, I did career flow, and but in particular, I seemed to be having a lot of conversations with my clients about AI, and so what was happening. And so that was career flow in the AI era. And we talked about the importance of embracing change and leveraging your superpowers in this new environment, in this new landscape. And then we had a break in August, and I then offered 2 in September in terms of what we did, Blasting Away Your Career Blues with Health, Imagination and Joy at the first part of September. And then K was Know to Grow, and bringing in that career agility in the AI era again, and just like following up on that and talking about adaptability and flexibility and continuing to navigate that landscape and what careers look like in the AI era. And then we went to learning, momentum, and networking as a continuation of that. And then in October, we looked at opportunity, and that as an antidote of career overwhelm. And I introduced my framework of the opportunity lens to leverage challenges and embrace career change, whether you are, as I said, you're changing proactively, you're advancing in a career, or change has been introduced to you. And it's, even if you don't feel like you want it, it has been imposed upon you. And then we went to the meaningful work to get unstuck, which was pace, question, and rhythm. And so tapping into meaningful work as a way of helping you navigate career challenges and then find fulfillment in your work. And so that was all last year. And then in January, I had a bit of a challenge, and I was visiting my family in Australia, and I've got COVID. So I wasn't able to do my, to offer anything for the first couple of months of 2024 this year. It's gone so quickly. And so in March, though, I actually had the delight of doing the simplicity theme, and the title was Simplicity Steps from Stuck to Career Success. And I decided to change it up and to have a guest, and my original guest wasn't available when I switched from meeting in January. And so hopefully I'll be able to introduce her to you at some point later. So I then was, because I was just freshly back from Australia, and I'd spoken to my sister, who is an amazing TCM, traditional Chinese medical doctor and acupuncturist and herbalist, Laura Rankin. And so we talked about simplicity as a theme and highlighted simplicity, self-care, passion for her career, and how that was fulfilling for her. And I hope you enjoyed that as well, for those of you who are able to join or perhaps watch later. So that was a very quick update of how we ended up here. And for this anniversary celebration, and reflecting back on what I have learned and looking ahead, I have a lot more information than I had about this process when I started. It was a new endeavor. And I've also been able to decide what I would like to do in terms of being able to move ahead, and what that could look like for the remainder of 2024. And so what I have decided to do is, I'm still not sure if I'm going to take a break in May or not, and resume in June. But from May or June, and I'll keep you updated of this as well, I will be shifting back. In 2021, I did a format of day 21 workshops, and they were more interactive, because I realized that I prefer to be more interactive with people and in a small group. So that'll be a different format, and to be including people in that. So stay tuned for what those changes will be looking like as well. And I am also going to see about doing some more in-person interactions. I'll be doing a little plug later for an in-person vision board workshop that I'm offering at the end of next week on Friday, April 26th, here in New Westminster, and I'm very excited about that. but looking at possibly doing some more in-person workshops as we finish off the ABCs into the rest of 2024 and what that will look like. So I've learned a lot of lessons and been able to reflect back on that. As I said, I've had some wonderful conversations with my members who have given me some valuable feedback. I still welcome if you have any feedback that you would like to offer me. I would love to hear from you. So as we continue, let me just bring up my screen again, and so we've done our overview and our reflection of the past year through the membership, and so I'll just keep on going. And so my April growth opportunity question for you is your top 3 insights or learnings for the past year. And I know usually you do this in maybe December or January, but we're just coming into the second quarter of the year. And so for the remainder of 2024, you may want to just reflect back on what you have taken away. So my insights for me were included looking at the membership and how it's gone so far for me and what that's been like, and that I really prefer the more interactive. I know that I have been able to create some new material, which has been wonderful too, and that's been challenging and as well, but it's also has helped me to grow as well. So for you to take that away as a question for yourself and a reflection. And then also from those insights, how might you leverage those insights to take you into 2024 in your life and career? So what could that action step be for you to leverage there? And from what we have done today in our time together today, has there been one insight or takeaway that you have? Has there been something that you might have recalled, or maybe this is the first time that you have been in one of my masterclasses here, but is there an insight for you as a takeaway? And I'll just give you a moment to ponder that. It might be related to the intention that you set at the beginning of the session too. And I wrote something down for myself as well. So hopefully there was something there for you. And as we start to wind down, I just wanted to remind you of our very brief but somewhat packed journey today. It was just like we started off by setting an intention, and then I took you through the Entrada membership journey. We went back on some of those topics, and then I reflected. The rejoice is that I did something new, and then that I have I have hopefully helped and supported you to think about things differently or remember things. And then the renewal is like, so what for my members who are renewing, or just the renewal of like, what is that going to look like in terms of a renewal process of the membership and what that's going to look like going forward. Then I offered you the April growth opportunity and any takeaways or insights you had there. And so my hope is that you will be able to resonate with the idea of taking time to reflect and then celebrate, and then using that to be able to work out what the next steps are for you as a renewal process. And we're in spring here in the Northern Hemisphere. I did just come back from the Southern Hemisphere, but we're coming into this growth period. And so how can you step into spring with this sense of renewal and taking lessons learned, celebrate what you've done well, and learning from things that have been challenging as well. I also wanted to give a big thank you to my wonderful assistant, Yash, who has, she's the one who goes and edits the YouTubes and puts in the show notes for me afterwards, and does an amazing job of the session guides and helping me put the materials together for this, as well as lots of many other things. I would be here for another at least a half hour if I were to list all the amazing things she does for me. But thank you, Yash. I just wanted, she'll be watching this. She's not working right now, but she'll get the recording of this. And so I don't do this on my own, and Yash is my assistant calling out, but I also have my wonderful husband who supports me and my friend team. So I'm certainly not doing this alone. And speaking of which, thank you for the emojis. I know that changing your career can be challenging. I did it myself, as I said. I started over 15 years ago, and then I finally took the plunge 15 years ago. But, I had my own career coach who was helping me. So if there's something here that you can leverage to help, or would like some support, whether it's from me individually or through the membership, I would love to have you join with me or with our group, and then together is better. So as I mentioned, Yash being my support, and then all of the feedback that I've had from my members this past year as well, and my clients too. And so that a little bit of a plug here. So if you are ready to step in and be serious about your career change so that you can work your dream, I do invite you to be part of the membership, or to invite you to reach out, and we could have a conversation one-on-one if that's more of your preference. And talking about doing things together, a little plug for my Create Your Vision in-person workshop that will be next Friday, the 26th, here in New Westminster. And the link will go into the show notes as well. So if you know anyone who might be interested, or you yourself are interested, and I'm also doing little 5-minute snippets on YouTube just to prepare and change and help you create your vision ahead of time, whether you're coming or not, or maybe you'll just feel inspired to do your own vision board. So as we finish up, as I said, I'm the Work Your Dream, the ABCs to Work Your Dream, and the May workshop is to be announced. As I said, it might be June. I might give myself a break of a month, or just to, as I rework how the membership is going to look in terms of what I'm offering for events. And so I will keep you informed of that through social media and email, and so all the ways that we stay in contact. And a big thank you to you for being here in whatever capacity that you're in. As I said, here in the room, live with me on the social channels. And if you'd like to offer me feedback, I would be happy to send you the session guide from this month as a celebration and thanking you. So if you would like to scan there and fill out the feedback form, or you can also find it on my website. And if you need help finding that, I can, if you email me or get me through social channels, I'll send you the link, and you can fill out that form as well. And so finally, my contact information there for those of you who don't already have it. And I really do appreciate that for you to being here and spending this valuable time. I know that we all have busy lives, and so I can't say how much I appreciate whether you're here with me today or you've been to one or all of my master classes, and thank you for all of the support that you've offered me. And if there's any particular subject that you're interested in that I could offer you in the future, please let me know and reach out, and I look forward to hearing from you. And it looks like we've got some extra bonus time here. We didn't have any questions today, and I have been, maybe the adrenaline of me trying to keep myself awake as well has also contributed to that. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. My name's Rachel Newton, and I can't wait to hear how you work your dream. Take good care, everyone.